So yeah, you were talking about Andy Serkis ripping off another actor for Gollum's voice.
This has nothing to do with Gen V, but we were just talking. So Andy Serkis, famous for his portrayal of Gollum in the Lord of the Rings movies, brilliant movies, brilliant Gollum, all that shit, right? And anyway, we were just talking. This is something that's annoyed me for a while. So whenever you see interviews with Andy Serkis and they say to him, "Where did you come up with a voice for Gollum?" And he's just like, "Oh, I just made it up. I'm an actor.
I was inspired.
An actor.
Yeah, a muse came to me.
All that stuff." But like a while ago, I downloaded this audiobook, and it's an audiobook of supposedly one of the definitive versions of Lord of the Rings, read by a British actor called Nicol Williamson in the 70s.
Yeah.
This is important.
He's famous for being Merlin.
For Merlin in Excalibur.
Yeah.
He was actually in The Exorcist 3 I just watched the other day, which was pretty bollocks with George C. Scott, but Nicol Williamson was in that as well.
Yeah.
But he talks like this.
Yeah,
yes, I am a magician. I am a god. Right, and so he's like a thesp. Thesp. But he did this, recorded this version of Lord of the Rings in the 1970s and The Hobbit. He did all the voices and stuff like that. And his Gollum is exactly the same as Andy Serkis's Gollum. Like,
what a cunt! What a cunt!
Yeah. So even the whole and all it, it's a precious. It's exactly the same, right?
Yeah.
That was not a very good impression.
No, right? I thought it was pretty good.
But it's fucking identical, right?
Yeah.
So I think that Andy Serkis listened to that, just took the voice, and then just passed it off as his own.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, I just came up with it one day.
I'm so fucking talented.
The character spoke to me.
Yeah.
And like, all those little idiosyncratic things. And he's just ripped it off from poor old Nicol Williamson, who fucking probably died not getting a penny out of that.
I'm really glad we could exclusively bring this to our viewers.
Yeah, because the conspiracy is that if you Google it, it seems to be, which I have done periodically over the last 5 years, is that no one else seems to have noticed this, and no one seems to be talking about it.
No.
Now, he's a powerful man.
Yeah.
Andy Serkis, he's a powerful man. It wouldn't surprise me if he's had those searches knocked on the head. Like, he's, no, I don't want anyone to know about that.
He's probably part of the Illuminati.
He's probably part of the fucking Illuminati.
Yeah.
Fucking Gollum eating bastard.
You should be ashamed, Andy Serkis.
You should be ashamed of yourself, Andy Serkis. If you're watching, please let us know what you think, because honestly, I'm kind of like miffed about this.
Yeah, I'm quite pissed, because
it's exactly the same. The voice is the same, or everything. Every single inflection that Gollum's voice from Andy Serkis thing was done 30 years before.
Yeah, it's fucking
by
outrageous.
Nicol Williamson. Do you know what I mean?
Plagiarism.
One of the first. The first audio adaptation of the book, one of the definitive
which
ones.
you would have gone to as an actor for research, blah, blah.
And he's gone, oh, well, I'm just going to copy this then.
Yeah.
And then fucking get all these accolades.
He could have said, oh, I was inspired by, Nichols or whatever.
Can't find any articles on it. No one's talking about it. Why? Because they've all been told to shut up.
Yeah.
Under pain of fucking... I don't know, exile to fucking Mordor or something.
They'll probably just call them conservatives or something and then see from them again.
Yeah.
That's what they do in Hollywood, isn't it? Gina Carano.
Oh, Christ. Don't start with all that.
No, I won't. But
yeah.
She was done dirty. Anyway, it was
fucking
a shit show.
Illuminati. So if we talk next week, but we can't do the podcast because I've been mysteriously murdered, it's fucking Andy Serkis that's done it.
Yeah.
Or one of his cronies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gen V,
episode 5. So after last episode was Marie ends up in bed with Jordan, and Jordan's female self, and that's she's she doesn't really she's not really bothered by it really, but it is a bit unusual for her to wake up with a woman. And they've had their memories messed with. It becomes quite apparent. This is going to be quite a quick one. And they wake up in a strange place. So Marie and Jordan wake up. Emma, no, it's not. Yeah, Emma's there as well.
Yeah.
Andre and Kate wake up, and they're like, "What have we done?
What happened?
What happened?" And then sort of, and Andre realizes that there's quite a few days actually that he can't remember. You know, it's not just they've gone out and got absolutely mullered, and you know, and they've forgotten. I mean, it does happen, but not to the extent what he was talking about. And then they sort of they end up in this guy's house called Dusty, who had this big party last night. And Emma's on trending on YouTube or wherever, chugging like an actual barrel.
A barrel of booze.
Yeah, which
or something.
I know.
Because she's still in a big tall form.
Yeah, English barrels carry 225 pints. I know that because I used to work as a barmaid years ago. I don't know how she got the top off because the pressurised. Anyway, she was getting it. She's still a giant. And then Sam turns up and he's like, "You all right? Something's happened." Blah blah blah. And they're like, "Who the fuck are you?" Like Marie and Emma.
Can't you see we're trying to have sex? Can't you see we're trying to have non-gender conforming sex?
Well, yeah. How dare you?
How dare you?
Anyway, so he goes, "Oh, you've been wiped." And now they sort of realise it, and they all sort of get together and they talk about it, and just there's days and we don't know what's happened. And they suspect Rufus, who is a shitbag.
Yeah.
And obviously Kate mentioned that he'd done it to her at one point. He's another psychic, and she woke up in bed and it looked like he'd raped her, really, sort of thing.
Yeah, but she said I couldn't say anything because they had me on videotape giving my consent, and I was like, I kind of fuck then.
Yeah, well, I mean, he could have, made her do that. So,
well, yeah.
So everyone's really pissed off about it, and then they know that Rufus. They see Rufus and dear Shetty talking, and I mean, obviously Shetty's a dodgy character anyway, isn't she? So, and they think that, and Shetty knows what's happened, and then we didn't really know what goes on. The interesting thing was that she was talking to one of the scientists, and he was saying that he was working on a virus to control Sups. So that's probably going to be the last battle. That they're going to probably knock off that doctor and destroy this virus when they find out about it. But no one knows about it apart from Shetty. And
that came out. I mean, that's sort of come out of nowhere. 5 episodes in. It doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's the first time it's been mentioned. But he's been torturing and experimenting on people.
The usual evil doctor stuff.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the moustache twirling. They also talk about Marie being very powerful, and her ability to control blood is very rare. And he wants the evil scientist wants Marie as a test subject. But I think Shetty says no to that. Anyway, sort of the episode is like they're running after Rufus, and they're trying to, now that they found out he'd like raped Kate, they wanted, and they keep getting wiped. Marie gets wiped a second time, and she can't remember even like the party anymore. Emma's sort of becoming more popular with everybody because she's on YouTube, getting drunk as a giant. And it sort of transpires that her mum told her that she was a monster and she was large and never to do it again, and that's why she's always gone for the small. But now she's realising that she's really good. Yeah. And they wondered why Rufus.
Mummy's horrible to me.
Well, she's a bitch, eh? Made her throw up and everything. Taught her how to become bulimic. So they try and figure out why. I mean, Rufus would do this, and then they sort of mention that Rufus, the Jumanji bit where Kate told him to kick himself in the balls with a baseball bat and say Jumanji on the hour. So that's fair enough, I suppose, that you would do that.
It's weird, actually. There was a bit there when they go to find Rufus, I think, and there's a bit where they go to his room, and Andre stands outside the door and goes like this with his hand and turns the handle like that to open the door. And I was like, "You're standing in front of the fucking door.
You could
just
literally
turn the handle.
You could just use your hand.
That's just pointless. Like, literally, that is just like a fucking, like, hang on a minute. Yeah, I've got powers. It's fucking like 2 feet away from you.
Yeah, I know.
What was that all about?
I suppose fingerprints might be if you're going to kill somebody.
Yeah, I mean, she blew the guy's dick off earlier, and like there was no repercussions for that, was there?
I know. Yeah.
You know what I mean, like, who's in charge at this fucking school?
Well, Indira Shetty, isn't she?
What is she called? Indira?
Yeah.
Indira Shetty.
Yeah, that's her name.
That's her name.
That's her name. And Puppet Sam. So this is when Sam sort of like, you see, I think someone's messing with Sam's head as well. I know he's supposed to be schizophrenic, but he has this scene where he turns into a puppet. Everyone's puppets. He messes all the puppets up, like pulling the spines out, and and
it sort of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and when he sort of woke up, all these dead bodies around him. So I think someone's putting that into his head.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. I wasn't sure, but at the time, I just think, well, he's just schizophrenic. He's got something wrong with it. But I think you're right. It kind of makes more sense.
Yeah, it's. I think,
none of it makes sense. But...
No. So anyway, we find out actually it was Kate who's been wiping everybody, and she's been sort of talking to Indira Shetty, and Shetty's been saying, "Use your powers for good." I don't know how you could sort of think that.
I still don't really know why she's done it all.
No, I don't know if Indira's got something on her, or but it seemed like she was a willing participant, even though she you don't want people fucking with your head, and they go around to kill Rufus, but Emma and Marie realise that it isn't him because he's been away and his powers are touched, and then Andre comes in throwing all kinds of stuff, throws shears and pins him to the wall, and he is going to kill him, but then Kate says, "No, it was me," and and then Andre says, "You're a fucking monster," and that's sort of where it ends, really. So I don't know.
Yeah.
She gave him his memories back, so
yeah, so she can do that. But yeah, I mean, I'm not quite sure what to say about the episode. It's kind of like, sort of things thrown in. I mean, I don't know, 5 episodes in. I'm a bit confused, to be fair, as to what's sort of really going on now. Like what's the okay? Now they want to learn how to control them. Duh! I thought that was the point anyway. But why are they doing these weird experiments on them? Why is Maria's blood power so special when all the others seem pretty more special?
There was a bit as well, which I didn't get a chance to watch it again, but Marie notices the blood. She could feel that as a blood clot in her. She pulls out this device
tracker,
but when she goes round to see Kate about it, I'm pretty sure her hand has just got blood in it. It hasn't got a tracker in it.
Oh, really?
I'd have to watch that again, but I don't know if that's something, because they put trackers in the 7, don't they? Because Starlight took hers out when they were tracking her. So I don't know what that's about anyway, but we'll probably find out more in the next episode. It was all right. It was all right.
It was okay. I mean, it's not The Boys.
No,
definitely not. It's definitely not on par with that. But I mean, it's interesting, but again, this episode didn't really feel like a great deal. I mean, I suppose a lot did happen, but it's kind of there's sort of no explanation. Now it's just like everyone's double crossing and all this guy, and like that Rufus guy, he said, "Yeah, I did wipe your brains, but I didn't actually have sex with any of you," and like that sort of thing. So
Well, that's believable.
but yeah, you can't believe him. He's a fucking arsehole. We don't know why Kate has gone along with this other shit. I mean, that Shetty woman, although, I mean, also the fact that no one seems to notice how awful that Shetty woman is, because she's like, these kids are all portrayed as pretty smart, but like,
she's clearly very manipulative. She's clearly just full of shit.
Like, full of shit.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? But it's like, because she has the chance to advance them, they're just like, oh yeah, okay, fine, yeah, whatever you say. So perhaps the kids aren't so different from us poor adults after all. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say there. No. But like, yeah, I'm not quite sure, where this is all going really. But we'll continue to watch it. We'll have to find out when The Boys is coming out again, because I want to see more about those guys.
It's next year.
I mean, it doesn't really explain what Vought has got to do with this either.
I don't know if he's like a rogue scientist or he's actually working for. Well, Shetty works for Vought, but I'm not sure about the scientist. Well, he must do.
Yeah, because I mean, they don't seem to like have any oversight in it. I mean, we had the woman who took over from whatever, this sort of crazy woman who ended up being the sort of assistant and then ended up becoming the boss from The Boys. We saw a bit of her in an earlier episode. But like, they don't seem to have any oversight with this school. They just sort of let them do what they want, really. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know where it's going. But, but at least none of them tried to pass off 1970s Lord of the Rings performance as their own.
Yeah. That's an important point to make. I'm glad you've made it.
Thank you. So, yeah, I'm
just leave it there then.
I'll probably just have to leave it there. Yeah. Poor old Nicol Williamson.
Yeah. He was great.
He was great, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, just get so like I say, if I do end up being murdered this time next week, that'll be why.
Yeah.
Yeah, the powers that be, the Illuminati, the Hollywood Illuminati. We don't talk about such things, or something like that. Yeah, don't talk about my presses.
No,
that was terrible.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
I tried.
Yeah.
So not as good as Nicol Williams' version of Smeagol.
The definitive version of the
definitive version of Smeagol, which was recorded and copyrighted back in the late 70s.
Yeah. So go check it out.
Yeah.
All right then, bye.
Yeah, see you next time. Bye.